Hello, everyone. Good evening, all of you, and a very warm welcome. So, I think we are waiting for a few more participants. I would request you to just wait for another maybe 5 minutes. Is that okay? Just wait for another 4 minutes. Okay, so I think we are good to start, and we have good number of participants. I think few of them are still joining, but never mind, we can still start. Okay, and a kind request to all of you, if possible, if you all can, switch on your cameras just for the initial 5-10 minutes, so it feels great to see the faces and have that connection, right? Yes. Thank you, Shivali ma'am. It's great. Yes. And first of all, as I said, it's always so great to see all of you at this hour, like after your day's hectic schedule. I'm sure you all have, school, most of you are teachers, educators, and, already working somewhere, and, attending a session at this hour is really amazing, and hats off to all of you, and thank you so much. And, and definitely, um, and first of all, like, welcome to this introductory session on coding, right? So I feel like, just 1 second. Just let me know if all can see my. Is my screen visible, ma'am? On the chat or something?
Yes, it is
Yeah, is
visible
it
now.
fine? Am I audible? Okay, great. Yeah, my voice is also audible, right? Okay, great. So, first of all, today's session on coding, right, which is being organized by Up Educators, a proud Google Cloud partner, and having empowered, more than 1,000 educators, and definitely, so today's session we are going to have a great insight on why coding for educators, right? And they have, it's a great platform for upskilling all the educators with the in-demand technology skills, right? As we all know, we are living in the digital world, and how technology has become such an what's happening, like what is this world, completely, what we were living, and the way, it's everything is uh, now, right? So you can always see the difference that how technology has taken over everything. Yeah, so we don't have to worry as educators. Okay, our jobs are not going anywhere. Okay, because we will be using technology as to enhance, to enhance our teaching, to enhance our learning and teaching experience, right? So, being with being said, let's begin with a small activity. I want all of you. So there's some sound coming. I don't know, from some. I think one of the teacher. So could you please yourself, everyone? There's some sound coming from someone. I request to Pushpanjali ma'am. Can you please mute yourself? Yeah, there's some sound. Okay, great. So, small activity from all of you. Okay. So quickly on the chat window, I want, yes, Harshit sir has already replied. These are some of the logos which I want you all to identify, and quickly tell me what is the most common thing among all these applications. Okay. So my question is that what is the common thing, and identify these logos, and what is the common thing that we see among all these applications that you're seeing on my screen. WhatsApp. Please no scribbling, or please nothing like that. I can just I have your answers in the chat window. So amazing. Zoom, WhatsApp, and MS Word, right? Wonderful. So as we all know that Zoom is a video conferencing application. We already are using in our day-to-day life, right? I think that was a big savior for all of us. Fatima ma'am, please, I think I'll just mute everyone so that we don't have. Yeah, so there's no disturbance. Okay. And yes, MS Word, right? We all are using that as a word processing application. Now tell me, teachers, that what is the common thing between all of these? Sharing information. Pushpanjali ma'am is saying that it's for sharing information. Okay. But I want the common thing, not that what's the most common thing that you see from all between all these three applications? Everything is made with coding. Very good. Amazing. Right? So typing, Ashit sir is saying internet communication. So we don't need internet for MS Word, right? So communication, yes. But what the ultimate thing, what is binding all these applications is coding, right? Because without this coding thing, we could have not imagined something like this, right? We could not imagine some solutions or apps like these, right? So that is where the core lies, that, all these things that we see, how, technology is making our life so far easier, is because they have been developed by someone, right? They have been coded by some great developers by, by ensuring that how they can help in, different ways, right? They had already envisioned that, okay, these are the problems that we are facing and how that can be, what is the solution for that, right? So that is the main thing that, can we just have these annotations being clear, please? Okay. So what does computer coding or programming make you think of? Okay, so as I said, that, all the different things that you see in, that we are using in technology, they have been developed through coding. Now, when I'm using the word coding, what is the one thing that comes in your mind? Can you quickly on the chat window? I want answers from you, that what do you all think, when you, I'm sure every one of us are, logical thinking algorithm. Yes, perfect. Dageshri ma'am is of that view that coding makes us think of logical thinking or algorithms. Special symbols, mm, special symbols in the sense you are saying some codes, right? Some code, you can say. Computer language, binary format, way to communicate with machine. It's good, right? All of you, we are having some idea that, coding is something which helps us to think, right? The logical thinking, right? It's a way to communicate with machine. Perfect, right? So coding is basically communicating, is a set of instructions, you could say, you can define in that way, that it is simply telling the computer what to do, right? Computer is just a machine and it helps us, and we are, through coding, we are interacting with this machine, right? We are training it, right? So that's the main thing, that, computer is just giving instructions, and it is, and we can make the computer behave the way we want, right? However we want it, right? So now, why is this coding increasing recently, right? You must have seen that recently there has been much emphasis put on coding, right? Previously it was only for like professional, or, after college or after 10th standard, only if you're interested in computers, people used to go for that field, and it was not, that much focused, right? It was not given that much importance. But recently we'll say that, we are starting right from the age of like 7 years, right? So why is it so much of importance? Because the things have changed, right? Things have changed, and in technology has evolved, right, exponentially. So what is happening, that the more the machines we are interacting, the more the need of knowing this technology has increased, and that's how this coding has been given so much of importance, right? Why this interaction of, interacting with the machines, right, through coding has increased. Now, I would like to also emphasize with a very impactful quotations, given by Steve Jobs, that everyone should learn how to code because it teaches you how to think, right? So we don't want to learn coding only because we want to make some, we want to develop a website, or we are going to develop some app, or, or some solution, right? Or, software. But the main core is, the main reason is because it teaches you how to think, right? So we want children, okay, to learn the basic thing, that, how they can think, how reading and writing was important, right? Currently you can say coding is become one of the most essential skill, right? The primary skills. So because it main emphasize on how to think. Now, why we educators have to learn coding, right? That's the one question, that, okay, we are teaching children coding, right? Because it may help them in so many ways. But why, as an educator, I'm already teaching science, why should I learn? I'm teaching arts, how will it help me, right? These are many questions that comes into our mind. So let us understand that why we need to do that. So now, as you all know that, millions of students, everybody, like, you must be seeing that students across the globe are learning coding, right? They've grown up, they've born with technology. So it's become like super fast for them to learn technology, for them to learn coding. But few years back, when we were learning, when we were doing our education, we didn't have that exposure, right? We didn't know what is coding, right? We were not given exposure to computers as well. So now what has happened is that there's a big gap that is raised between the student and the teachers, right? that students have become so fast, the computational thinking has become so fast, and still we need to upgrade ourselves. We somehow feel, so inferior at times, right? That, these children are so, outsmart, they are so smart in technology, I also want to do, so this gap, we want to bridge this gap. So what we can do is we can also learn technology more better, and coding will give you that, that power, okay, to think, to get that, confidence in technology. So that is one of the reason I feel. And second thing, previously when we were teaching, right, when we were teaching in schools, it was like, every subject was taught isolated, right? They were all, separate. Like, when we were learning science, it was only science. When we were learning social studies, it was only that. But again, the world is changing, education is changing, things are becoming so dynamic that it is no more, that you are just based on the content, right? So that's the reason where this, integration of different subjects. So while I'm teaching science, I'm also, maybe I'm also integrating the concept of geography or arts. I want to integrate so that the expansion of the knowledge to the children can, it can be given more enlarged in a more better way, right? So here also technology is playing a vital role over here, and how we can integrate technology to give a more in-depth knowledge about any particular, subject that you're teaching, right? For example, if I was teaching science about heart, if I just showed on the textbook, right, it would be so boring, right? Right now, with the help of technology, we can show them exactly, with the VR and the technology, the latest technology, we can actually show how the, heart pumps and how the internal bodies are, right? So again, integration of technology in various subjects is one of the reason that how you can, use technology, how coding can help you as an educator, right? Then coming to the STEM education, as we again all are aware, right? New education policy also focuses on holistic learning, not, just content based learning. Now this technology, this holistic learning emphasizes on various in demand skills like communication, collaboration, right? How we can integrate different subjects with technology. So again, technology will help you, coding will help you to integrate STEM education in your respective, subjects. As I said, computational thinking, 21st century, where I'm focusing on logical reasoning, critical thinking, analytical thinking. See, previously when we were hiring also people, like, when we were going for jobs also, it was like, very, like, if you're learning a particular commerce, you're getting jobs in that, there was not much demand. But nowadays, if you see, there is, so much of a dynamism, right? It is like every job is requiring a lot of skills, okay, apart from your subject, right? So again, your coding will build all these 21st century skills, right? And the final is that, when you have learned coding, you can teach your students in your school, you can have your own classes, right? And there's so much of demand, right? And there are very few teachers who are doing that. There's a very huge gap in the demand for learning coding and the teachers who can teach coding. So you can definitely, contribute over there. You can have your own classes, you can teach your own kids, as well as there are so many companies who have come up with, teaching coding. So of course that, it can also generate an additional income for all of you, right? So that's again where your knowledge of coding can be helpful, right? So I'm sure it's pretty clear why we need to learn coding and what is coding, right? Now, how does coding happen? Again, a questions are mine. Is it very difficult to learn coding? I've heard, oh my God, coding is something, not for us. Uh, it looks very difficult, right? These are some of the things that comes in our mind. But let me tell you, okay, again, how technology has evolved. There's a lot of evolution also being done in the terms of, learning this particular language, like, programming language, right? Previously, it was very difficult. Again, there have been many tools which have come up, which has made, learning coding very, very simple, which we are going to understand in these upcoming sessions. Now, there are two types of coding that we need to understand, that is text-based coding and block-based coding. So as I said, for beginners, you don't have to worry, because we have the power of block-based coding, which will make your learning far more easier, right? So let me, what is the difference between text-based coding and block-based coding? So if you see any program, so on the left hand side that you see, it's a text-based coding, and on the right hand side that we see is a block-based coding. So there are far more less chances of committing errors in block-based coding, right? You have more guidance, in the terms of block-based coding. So you don't have to remember a lot of, syntax or grammar, when we are writing a text-based coding. And also it's just like, joining the jigsaw puzzle. So it becomes more easier to learn coding through block-based coding in the initial stage, right? So we have we have these amazing tools which will help us to learn coding in a far easier manner. Okay. Now, how does coding work, right? So of course, now we know that, okay, we will be learning block-based coding, which will be more simpler and easier. Now, to learn coding, okay, as I said, it's just giving instructions to the computer, right? Now, for that, how whenever we are writing a program, right, whenever we want to solve a particular program through coding, what we need to do is, first of all, we'll write an algorithm. We'll write in a language which we can understand in a most simplest way, and then we will apply our coding language. We'll use the coding language concept to actually build the program. Okay. So for example, if I want to spin a ball, okay, for human beings, how we would interact is just, by saying the command, like just the instruction spin a ball would be enough. But if I want to communicate with a computer, I cannot just say spin a ball, right? I need to give in proper flow in a proper format, right? So for example, and our instructions have to be very precise and very clear, right? So I would just say first point the ball straight, turn the ball. So these are the instructions which I'm going to give, and isn't, just a basic understanding. And when we implement in our coding using the coding language, it would be something like this, right? So as you can see, just understand, don't worry that what is this code, but I'm just, just to get an overview of how coding works and how we are going to write the program. Now, this is about, what and why. Now let's see that what are the different projects that you are going to work on, right? Again, that inquisitive question, that what are we going to learn in this particular program, right? What are the different things that we can make using using this knowledge of coding, and how it will help me as an educator to enhance my skills, right? So here I am going to show you the different projects that you're going to work and the different tools that you're going to work on. Okay, so these are the same of the things like animated cards. You can make stories, you can make virtual tours, maze game, quizzes. We're also going to develop some apps like Google Translator, educational app, age calculator, your normal calculator, all of things I'm going to show you. Just allow me 1 minute. So, so these are the various things. Now I'm going to show you what exactly are we going to make, so that you all will get a clear picture of the projects. So again, I'm just sharing my screen, and I hope you all are able to watch it. Okay, so as I said that, if I'm teaching a particular lesson from a textbook in a very theoretical way, maybe that would not be so impressive for my children. What I could do is I could create some a short story, an animated story, right? So just to give you an understanding. So for example, I wanted to teach one topic, right? And I thought of making it interactive. So I can code a small project, and I can create a short story where I can have multiple scenes, a conversation, some kind of animations, and I can make my lesson very interesting and interactive, right? So as you can see that, we have created a small short story over here, right? So this is one of the thing. Now let's say I want to teach a particular concept. I want to just give a virtual tour on particular, on a particular place. If I'm a social science teacher, or if I'm an arts teacher, I want to, just give a small tour on different things. So maybe I could create a lesson. I could create a project where I can depict all of these things in a more interesting way. And again, with the knowledge of coding, you can have some sounds, all of these. So yes, so again, a small, showcase of the project that you can, the virtual tour that you can create using coding, right? Assignments can be done, right? So for example, I'd just like to show you some kind of, maybe some games you can make. You can create some assignment things, right? So here, let's say I can make up this game. Yeah. So you could create such kind of assignments. So you may be thinking of, okay, let me just give a small, activity for my students. So you can create this and you can say everyone, okay, solve this thing, right? So again, I'm, the different ways in which you can, integrate this knowledge to make your lessons more.
I have been forced to become a frog. Can you please make me once again?
I hope you're able to hear it. Yeah, so as you can see, we can also have some voiceovers, some voice recordings over here.
Thank you, Wizard, for turning me into a prince.
Yeah, you could create some maze games over here. You could also, as I said, you can have some cards being made, your birthday cards, you can ask children to. So nowadays, like even the projects that you're giving to, the assignments, even they students are, willing to come up using technology, right? So again, if you have the knowledge, you will be able to gauge them better, right? So again, these are the different ways. Your art teachers can create something, they can create some applications in which children can paint using this. So they have created, so we can create such kind of applications. So I just want to show you all of these things are possible. I can add some sounds, I can add some background music to make my
Hello, I am Jackie the chatbot.
chatbots.
Okay, Sonal, how are you doing? Well, that's not good. Sonal, do you want to listen a song?
Yeah, you could also make some shooting games, right? These are some advanced things that we can make now. So I hope it's pretty clear to all of you that what are the different kinds of games and projects, animated stories that we can make. Correct, teachers? Yeah. So
Priya quiz. What
okay.
is the capital of India? Delhi or Chandigarh?
Just stop my screen sharing. 1 second. Okay. So we can have such interactive quiz.
That's good. Let's play again. What is 7 times 8? Very good.
Okay, so these are the stories. I know that these are the projects that we'll be working on using the Scratch platform. Again, as we said, we will be also learning how to make apps, right? In using our program, we will also be learning how to make different mobile apps. Right, as I was showing you about, you can make a Google Translator app, educational app. So we are going to give a hands-on knowledge of all of that. Now let's quickly start now, to get an actual, understanding of whether, how actually you can make the code. So I want all of you to, whoever can or whoever wants to do it right away. I want everyone to try, to create this project that I'm going to show. So let's start with a simple and a, very interesting, like a simple story, which I want you all to do it along with me, right? So that you get to know that how you can actually implement the coding, right? Ghanshyam sir ji, please, can you, not do some annotations? Actually, I think that, yeah, I hope we don't have, being an educator, I think we can respect each other and, not do things which children would do, right? So, Kancham sir, please, I think it's not required, these things. Okay, so let's quickly start now. And as I said, I want all of you to create this project. So first of all, the first step is to go to the website that is scratch.mit.edu. Okay, this is a website through which we will be making all these amazing projects. Okay, and since you all have not been signed in, right? So you have not signed in, the screen will look something like this. Okay, so first of all, I want you all to go and click on the create button. Okay, so create button will help you to create a new project. Okay, so I hope everybody is with me. Okay, so scratch.mit.edu. If you wish to just observe right away, no problem. If anybody wants to do it, they are most welcome to do it along with me. And so this is the first of all, this first step is to go to the website that is scratch.mit.edu. Then we click on create and we are over here. So this is the interface, okay? So as I said, we are going to start with the block-based programming language, and Scratch is the best, best tool to start with, because it's a visual programming where you can actually visually see all your characters and everything that you're making, right? So first thing that you see as soon as you open, okay, on the right hand side is your stage, right? So this is where your actual outcome of the project will be seen, right? Whatever you're making, I showed you so many different projects. Everything that you see is a stage, right? So this is your stage area, and by default, you will see one cat, as soon as you open any Scratch project, the first thing that you see is a cat, right? So this is a default sprite or a character, you can say, for your story, for your project. Okay, and we can customize it however we want as per our story or as per our project. But as soon as you open, this is the thing that you get. It is called as a sprite, right? On the middle part, so this is about your stage, which you can view in three different views. So this is the compact mode, this is your usual mode, and this is the full screen mode, right? So whenever you're done with your program, you will go into the full screen mode and we will see the outcome in that mode, correct? Now coming to the second middle part that you see, it's called as a coding area. Okay, so the instructions that we said that, to give, to make the computer behave that we want, this is the place where we are going to build a program there, where we are going to put our blocks, right? Which is also called as a script, right? So in most of the programming languages, you must have heard about a script, right? Script is nothing but the collection of instructions that you're writing to make a particular program, right? On the left hand side, you can see your coding blocks, right? As I said, it's a block based, so you don't have to write any text. You don't have to do a proper coding. You have certain blocks which you can just drag and drop it, and you can just join them as how we would join the jigsaw puzzles. So it's that easy, right? So you can quickly just drag and drop. There are so many categories that you see. So based on what we are making, right, what kind of code, what kind of program we are making, we will be using these particular blocks, which are again divided into various categories, which we shall learn very soon in our upcoming sessions. And of course today also we are going to look into some of the blocks over here, correct? And you can see over here there are 3 tabs, that is code, costumes, and sounds. With each sprite that you see, there are 3 tabs over here. So the code that we are going to write for this particular cat, the costumes, and the sounds. Okay, we will come to this part later on. And okay, at the bottom you can see over here, this is the cat, the sprite that I'm talking about. Every sprite has certain information about that particular sprite, the name of the sprite, the position, the visibility, the size, and the direction. Again, we are going to learn about this in our session. And this is the place where we can choose, we can add multiple sprites, and this is the place where we can add multiple stages, right? So let's begin. Let's start with a small story that I said. Now, first thing that we are going to do in today's session, let me show you what we are going to do, and then we shall develop that. Okay, so first of all, let me show you what we are going to do. Let's say I want to just have one small scene, okay, in my project where I have 2 sprites and there's some dialogue, some motion is happening over here. So this is what I plan to develop in today's session. So let's begin with that. We have already opened a project. Now, as you could see that we have a nice background over here, a nice stage. So first thing what we are going to do is we are going to add a stage, right? We are going to add a nice backdrop. So to add a backdrop, as you can see on my screen on the right hand corner, okay, bottom corner, you can see an icon, choose a backdrop. Okay, so I want all of you, whoever is doing it with me, to click on that, and you can see there's a huge collection of library of backdrops provided by Scratch, which makes our work far more easier. So whatever you're planning, your stories, your virtual tools, your games. So already there are so many backdrops which you can choose from, or of course you can also add your own backdrops. But I would like to go with a blue sky right now. Okay, so I have added this backdrop. So it's that easy, right? You can just click over here, choose a backdrop. I'm just repeating the step. You can choose whatever the, any particular backdrop that you want to do. Okay, if you're not able to find, you can just simply type blue sky and it will be there. Am I correct? Is it fine? Right. So here we have added a backdrop, and now I already have a cat, okay, and I would like to add some dialogue. I want to add some, some dialogues for my cat, right? So how do I do that? So I have my backdrop, I have my sprite. Now so that's the basic design that we want to do. Okay, now I want to add some, some behavior to my sprite, right? So since I thought of having some dialogues, okay, we are going to go with the looks category, where we have certain blocks which are related to your say. we want this sprite to say. Now, the best part again of block-based coding is all the, new educators who are just very new to coding. Again, let me tell you that, these blocks are so simple or so easy to understand, because it's like, the words that you're using in our everyday day-to-day life, right? So it's very simple. So I am using the say block, and here I'm going to add my message that I want this cat to speak, right? So here I can just click on this particular thing and I can customize the message. So I would like to add hello friends. Okay, welcome to Scratch. So this is what I want my cat to say, right? So what did I do? I'm repeating. We can go to the looks block and just drag and drop the block, the say block, and just put it in the script area, okay, or the coding area. And you're just to click on this and you can type the message. If you don't want any particular block, simply to delete, you just move it back to the coding block and it gets deleted. Okay. So here, as I've written some message, now after writing the coding, okay, so designing is done, coding is done. The third step is to test the code, right? That whenever you're making anything, you need to test whether it's working absolute as the way you want, right? So here we are going to, first thing is how to execute is simply clicking on that particular block. You just have to click on it and it gets executed. Executed means it runs, it does what you have asked it for, right? So as you can say, hello friends, welcome to Scratch. For how many seconds is it displaying? For 2 seconds, because that is the command that you're given, right? So in case if it's a big dialogue and you say, oh, you wish to make it remain it for 4 seconds, you can do that by just changing the time, correct? Yes. So you can see that this has been executed. Now let's say I want the cat to say something else. Okay. So let's say I want the cat to further say something more. I have picked up another say block and let's say I am hungry. Okay. Now, as you can see, if I would click on this, both the blocks, they would be executed sequentially one after another, right? Because that is how I have commanded. Now, just understand, just imagine that if I had to do this, every time that I code, I have to click on this, it wouldn't be that much interesting, right? It wouldn't be that great idea to come over here and to click, right? And that's not what happens, right? Whenever you open any app, it executes, it functions on its own. Now, here comes the trick that whenever you want to just start the program and, your program gets executed, there is something, in programming language that we use is events. Okay, so event, all the most of the programming language will be using event based approach, right? Where what we are going to do is we are going to tell the computer that when this particular program has to be executed, when this code has to be executed. So here we are going to say that whenever I click on this flag, right, you can see 2 buttons over here just above the stage, that is green flag and stop. Okay, so which means that whenever I start my program and whenever I stop my program. So I want to tell my program that whenever I click on this flag, I want to do something, I want some action to happen. Okay, so what we are going to do? Simple. We have already written some code and this code has to be executed whenever I click on this flag. So I am just going to join them, and this makes more sense right now that whenever the flag is clicked, this is what I want my cat to do. Okay, I will go to the full screen and I'll quickly show you the outcome over here. As you can see, right now I'm not going to the code and executing. I have just command that whenever I click on this flag, this is what the cat has to do. Interesting, right? Yeah. So very simple. We have made this cat say something. Now I just want to add some sound for my cat, right? This cat wants to say some meow. So I will go to the sound block and I'm going to play this sound over here. As you can see, there's already, a lot of things inbuilt which we can use them. Okay. And okay. So now when I click on this green flag, you'll also be able to hear the sound, right? Because we've asked to play this sound, right? So very simple. These are the instructions that we have asked the cat to do in a sequential manner. So very important programming concept is sequential programming, right? Where the program flows in a particular sequence. Now let's imagine that I want to, enhance, I want to add another character in my story. Getting me? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this choose a sprite and I'm going to add another, character in my story. So let's say since the cat is hungry, let's add some delicious food for it. You can add anything that you like. See, as you can see. So first step is to choose a sprite. I'm going to go over here, the cat face, and there's a plus symbol above it. I hope you all can see on the right corner. Okay, it will be there in the right bottom corner. There is a cat and a plus symbol. Click on this. It is choose a sprite, and you can again see a library of a huge library of sprites which you all can use to make your amazing projects. I would like to go with the food category again. Your sprites are divided into different categories. You can choose whatever you like. Let's say I'm going to go with apple. Okay, as soon as you select a sprite, you can see you're able to move it around the stage. You can put it wherever you want. So I'll just place it over here. Followed everyone? Yeah, I hope you're able to follow. Now what we are going to do is I have added my sprite. Okay. Now what we want to do is, so since another cat has come, I want this cat, okay, to go to this apple and, because it's hungry, it wants to eat, it has to go to that apple, right? So I want to add some movement, some motion for my cat. Okay, so let's see how through coding I can add this animation in my project. Very simple. First of all, I would like to go, first of all, since we want to add some motion, okay, we are going to the motion block. We are going to go to the motion block and we are going to pick up this block that is move. Okay, so move in itself. So if I just execute, okay, if I just click on this sprite, let me see what happens, right? So as I can see that I can move this cat 10 steps ahead. Right? If I wanted it to go backside, I would just say move of minus 10 steps, which will make the cat move backwards, right? So very simple, move 10 steps ahead or move time minus 10 steps. So here you can give any number. Let's say I want this cat to move 100 steps at one go, correct? So you all can see how we can do that, right? We can just change the number and we can ask the cat to move that many steps. Now, what I want to do is I want this cat to move after, playing the sound. So I will just put this block over here and I will run my code and see what happens. Okay. So as you can see, this is my first block. I'm hungry, I want to eat something, and here it goes, right? So you can see that there is a motion over here, but I'm sure we don't want this particular, the cat to go to the actual, apple. So you can think again. Now here we can just put our calculations that, okay, if it is moving 100 steps till here, how much can I put it for, going to reach over here? I could just try some number over here and let's see what happens, right? So this is how, again, you can, inculcate, like, you can integrate your mathematics over here to calculate, stuff. When we are building some programs, we may need to do some calculation, some analysis, and all of that we can do over here and we can write the code. Okay, looks good. Okay, so this is how I'm going to develop my code. So I think, okay, this is still more I want to go. So I'll put it 320. Clear, everyone? Hope everybody's followed. So quick thumbs up, or I want to see from all of you that you have followed. Everyone, please. If you have any doubt, yes. Great to see. Others, I hope you all are following. Great. Okay. Wonderful. That's great to see. Any doubts till now? Yes, understood. Okay, great. Okay. Can please explain the motion once again? Kindly repeat. Okay, 1 second. I'll just come to the motion part. No worries. Okay, great. So, of course, right now what we have what we are learning is, just an introduction, so that you'll get to know that how it is. In our upcoming sessions, of course, we are going to, do a lot of animations and all of that, what I was explained, what I showed you all. But right now, I think there was some doubt related to the motions. I'll just quickly do that, and then we'll switch on to app development also. Okay, I also want to show you how does app development work. I think this is a basic understanding all I've got of what, how the Scratch tool will work. So over here, whoever has questions regarding the motion, it's very simple. First of all, there are so many blocks related to motion, as you all can see. They all will help us to create some kind of motion, some kind of moving animations to us, right? But the very basic thing will be of move block, right? Which helps us to move that particular steps. Okay. So here, when I will, when we usually pick up a block, okay, the default value is 10 steps, right? When I say default means it comes along with that particular, it comes along with that particular block, right? And we can always change it just by clicking on that particular, it's very simple. You just have to click on it and we can change the value. So if I execute this individually, I could see this is my 10 steps. Now I can think over of how many steps I wanted so that it can reach to the apple, right? So I can do that and I can change the value accordingly. So here I'm just going to say 320 because that's what I have calculated. And you can see, you can just make that particular change in your block and you can exactly get what you want, right? Definitely, teachers, like, all of you, we are going to learn lots more different ways and more efficient ways and more, ways in which we can, make this program more better, right? But since this is just an introduction of what is what, we are going with the simplest one, right? So yes, I hope now it's very clear to all of you. And backdrops I'm not getting. Okay, possible to animate English grammar part. Is it possible to animate maths concept? As I showed you, ma'am, Prabha ma'am, definitely when you learn coding, right, when you will understand about how coding works, and when we'll work on certain number of projects, automatically it's 100% sure that you all will come up with the ideas. Whatever you are thinking, you will be able to apply it, right? Because that's how this knowledge of coding will help you. Definitely maths concept, you all can create some quizzes, where you can explain a particular maths concept, right? Sorry, you can create some assessment for the maths concept, or while you're explaining certain math concept, again, you can do it. There are a lot of possibilities. You can upload your own backdrops, you can upload your own slides. So definitely Prabha ma'am and all the teachers, like, Tashneem ma'am has a question on English. Definitely all that is possible. Okay. Perfect. Harshit sir is saying backdrops I'm not getting. Okay, I'll just solve this question and then we can go ahead. So here you can just click on choose a backdrop and you all can choose any backdrop that you want. Okay. So that's how we choose a backdrop. Yeah, and the last step after completion of your project is to save your project. Since I've not signed in right now, you all have not signed in, you're not getting the option of save the project, but you can go to file and you can save it to your computer. Don't worry, in the further stages, we are going to have actually create our account and we will be seeing how to create our own studios, how to share our projects, how to curate our own studios and everything. Okay, so on this note, we are going to, finish the Scratch thing, and we'll step into how to develop our own mobile apps. Now, teachers, when I'm talking about mobile apps, we are actually going to make apps which you will be able to, see it on your phone. So they are actually APK files, the executable files that you will be seeing on your mobile phone. So we will be learning that particular thing. Okay. So for that, we are going to use a tool, an application called as appinventor.mit.edu. Okay, so this is the application that we all will be using to learn how to make your own Android and iPhone apps which can create a global impact. Trust me, teachers, this is a wonderful tool where your children will have so much fun because they can actually learn how to create their own apps, right? And children have such amazing ideas. So all that is possible to make them become the creators of technology. Here they can think of a particular problem and how the solution, and they can actually implement the solution using this MIT App Inventor. So first of all, again, whoever wants to do it right now along with me, they can do. Otherwise, just observe how we are going to do it, right? So I will just 1 second, I'll just log into my account to show you some of the projects that we will be working in MIT App Inventor, using which again, you will be creating all that I said about your Google translators, your calculators and all of that stuff. So I will quickly showcase all of that as well so that you all get a clear picture of what all you can expect. Yeah. Um, just give me 1 minute. I'm just opening a few of them. And today also I'm going to show you how we can do that. Okay. So I'm going to show you one very interesting, that is a Google Translator. Now all the children love this application and I hope you all can see. I'm just sharing my screen right away. Yeah, so you all can see this kind of apps that you can make. Again, as I said, all these apps that you are going to make over here, you can install them on your phone. Okay, so you will be creating an Android app of this, and which we can install in our mobile. Over here, you can see. So I've given two types of input. Either I can enter the text or I can input. I can also talk, right? How we have this in WhatsApp also, we have voice typing, right? So I can just use the voice typing over here. I can enter the text. I can choose the language in which I want to translate. I can translate into any language that you want. I've just added a few. You can add multiple languages. And once you click on the translate button, you can see actually the translated text over here. Right, so these kind of amazing things you can make in MIT App Inventor, right? You can make a calculator. The simplest one, you can actually build your own calculators, your own age calculators and all of that. Now quickly let's begin on how to create a Android app using MIT App Inventor. Okay, so all the Inquisitive teachers who wants to know, I'm also going to show you how to create this project. So first of all, what we are going to do is we have to go to this website, that is appinventor.mit.edu. Okay, so this is the website link that you will be going to open your App Inventor application, right? So appinventor.mit.edu is the website, and as soon as you open that, you just click on create apps. It will ask you for sign in, and you can simply sign in with your Gmail account, and you will be able to see a screen where you can start. Just click on start new project. Okay, so I'm going to give the name as whatever your name you want to give. You can just say first project. And okay, I'll be just giving some name over here. Okay, so this is the first screen that you will be seeing in MIT App Inventor, where you can see our actual mobile app right over here. You can see this screen is being visible over here. Okay, and you can design your app, and you can also code. You can also write the functionality for that app. Okay, so today we'll start with a simple project, okay, where I am going to have 3 buttons which can change the color of my screen of my, of my app, right? So first of all, as you can see, let us understand this interface of MIT App Inventor, where on the left hand side, you can see all the components that you can add to your, to your app, right? So I'm sure we all are using so many different apps, so many gaming apps, so many utilities apps, right? So all of them have certain components that we see, right, that we use to interact with our app, right? It can be a label box, it can be a text box, it could be a list box or a button, right? So all of those components, we can add it in our app by just, just hovering on it and just clicking and dragging it into our screen. So as you can see, I have put 3 buttons over here, and as soon as you put the buttons, you can see over here in the component explorer, you can see all these 3 buttons, right? So this is called as a component explorer, where you can see all the components that have been added into your app. Okay, you can also see screen 1, which means that you have screen 1, you have 1 screen in your app right now. You can also add multiple screens, right? Your most of your apps have multiple screens, that it takes you to another screen and then another screen, right? So how we navigate through different screens, because there are already so many screens in that app, right? So similarly, We can also have multiple screens. Each screen, each thing can work in a different way. So this is how we can add the screens from here. And this is where we can see all the component explorer bar. And here you can see something called as properties. Okay. So when I say properties, what does it mean? So here I can define the physical attributes of that component. How does it look like? Yeah, the appearance of that particular component can be changed with the help of this properties window, right? So for example, if I want to, give the caption over here like red, green, blue, I can go to the properties and I can just make some change over here. I can exactly give the text that I want to appear. Okay, so don't worry right now, I'm just showing you. But of course, in our sessions, we will be actually working on how to do it, right? So over here, if I want to change the background color, maybe you can just change some of the properties over here. So are you getting me? So this is how we can change, we can design our app. Okay. And if I want to change the text color, I can also change the text color from here, right? I can make it look font bold. So there are so many different things that we will be seeing on actually how to code our own stuff, right? Here I can make the width as fill parent. So don't bother of doing it, okay? Because as I said, we are just, we will be doing in our other future sessions. Okay, so I have done some setting for my buttons. And now this is how I have designed my buttons, right? This is the basic design that I've made for my blog, for my app, right? Now, let's say if I click on this button, I want to change my screen color to some, to a required color. So this is where we will be going to the blocks part, okay? So blocks part is where we are going to actually do the coding, right? And designer part is where we are going to design the application, right? So over here, when I go to the blocks over here, I can choose how to code it, right? What I want to do. So for example, if I want to click on this button and my screen color should change to red. Okay, so here I will be going over here and I'll say when button 1 clicked, okay, what should happen? I want to change the color of my screen to red or to green or whatever color I want. So I can simply use this property over here, background color, to the color that I want. Okay, so let's say I want to change it to red color. Cool. So this is how we will be writing the code for our app, right? So this is where we design the app and this is where we are going to code the app. Okay, so in our sessions we are going to learn how to do all these. Okay. Yes. Okay, so I think this has given a clear idea of what are the different things and what are the different platforms we are going to work on, right? I think you all must have got a very clear picture of everything that we can design and build. Now, let me explain you about this programs, right? That how is this program going to happen? So let me quickly show you about that as well. Okay. So as I showed you a few of the things, right, you can create your own photo editor. So I just showed you a few things, but actually you can make many amazing applications using MIT App Inventor. Trust me, there are so many different, even my children have made, based on their creativity, it was really awesome. So definitely you all can, think of many amazing lessons that we can do. Now, Up Educators program, this coding program, it's a 5 weeks instructor-led training program. You are going to actually be having live classes, and there'll be after every session there'll be some assignments that will be given to you so that you can actually get a hands-on knowledge of each and every concept that we'll be learning through the program. And also we will be having 4 advanced workshops. So if you want to take up coding as your teaching profession, definitely we can work on some advanced workshops, and that all will be unlocked to you in this program. Of course, whoever, educators who wants to, later pursue coding career, we will be giving you some, suggestions for your interview preparations also. There will be a complete instruction material provided to you after each class. Everything will be, all the learning material will be provided. There'll be practice assignments, there will be, notes after each session. So definitely that will help you, to get proper understanding of each and every concept. The platforms that we will be using is code.org, Scratch, MIT App Inventor. We will be also using Google for Education for, to guide you on how you can teach coding in your classes. So there are a lot of lessons which are planned, which we will be, which we will be understanding in these sessions. Also, as you already, I think most of you have, done some programs already with Up Educators. We have a understanding on how, the teaching is, and there's already many 300 plus Google and Microsoft certified educators have already trained 3000 plus educators. So definitely, it will be very much recognized. And yes, so this is for any further inquiries, you can contact Ms. Manjari Thakur, and this is the number. Please take the screenshot of this slide so that you can contact her. And also just an information that a new upcoming batch is starting from 21st March. So all the, educators who want to start right away, we can start with the upcoming batch that is on 21st March. Right. So yes. And now we just before I take up any further questions, right, I will be taking all of your questions. Just a small thing. Yeah, I'm just launching one poll. So I want to know your answers regarding this poll. So how many of you would like to know more about this program? Okay, wonderful. Great. All of you are like, yes. Oh my God, all 20 on 20. Okay, so everybody wants to know. So definitely we are going to have, you will be contacted with all the information that we, about this particular program. And definitely Ms. Manjari or someone from our team will be contacting you and providing you all the details. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed this session, and any queries regarding the session or regarding your program, they are most welcome right now. So you can put up your questions. If you want to unmute, you can just raise your hand and you can ask me right away. I'm here to answer all your queries. Anything that you have in your mind, okay, please feel free. Don't worry at all. Okay, and anything like कुछ भी है आपके दिमाग में कि आप कर पाओगे कि नहीं, and especially I'm telling you that, just believe in yourself. Definitely this program, would we be using Python, Prabha, ma'am? Definitely Python is in our program, which will be there after this program, because this is the aim. This program is basically aim for fundamental training, and Python is, I also take, I'll be doing your Python training also. I have, again taught multiple students in Python programming. So that will be our second level of coding workshop that we will be looking at. Yeah. So Python is also there. I'm glad, Gansham sir, you have any doubts, you can ask me. Is it related to robotics? Sorry, this is not related to robotics. Can we use it for any subject up to any class? Yes, trust me, you can use it for any subject and up to any class. कोई भी class के लिए आप सिखा सकते हो. आपको हिंदी भी सिखाना है तो भी, like you have, we can integrate even Hindi. So don't worry about that. आप हिंदी में भी, जैसे हम स्क्रैच में हम जो मैसेज दे रहे हैं, हम उसको हिंदी में भी दे सकते हैं. So ये भी possible है. तो डोंट वरी अबाउट, डोंट रेस्ट्रिक्ट, डोंट हैव दैट थिंक करे ये मेरी लैंग्वेज का नहीं हो सकता है, नथिंग लाइक दैट. सो मैंने अपने क्लास में एक बार, लाइक व्हेन आई हैड टू टीच सिमिलीज टू माय चिल्ड्रन, आई हैड मेड अ स्क्रैच प्रोजेक्ट एंड उनको इतना मजा आया, लाइक व्हेन दे डिड इट. सो डेफिनेटली बच्चों को बहुत मजा आती है जब हम कुछ नया चीज इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं. इट हमें बना के रखना है और उनको बताना है, तो उनको बहुत मजा आती है. सो डेफिनेटली ये आपके लिए बहुत अच्छा रहेगा. करियर ऑप्शंस, कैन वी अप्रोच स्कूल्स आफ्टर इट? यस, डेफिनेटली. अगर आप ये कोडिंग प्रोग्राम जो हम एडवांस वर्कशॉप भी है जब आप कर लोगे, तो 100% यू कैन अप्रोच टू स्कूल्स फॉर टीचिंग कोडिंग. ओके, स्पेशली स्क्रैच और MIT तो बहुत ज्यादा यूजफुल है, तो हम, एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी आर एक्चुअली इंट्रोड्यूसिंग दिस. तो ये डेफिनेटली कर सकते हैं. रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस, सॉरी, ऐप इन्वेंटर पे रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस अवेलेबल नहीं है. Currently that option is still not there. What will be the basic operating system or language? Basic operating system कोई requirement नहीं है. Ashita ma'am has given a nice code print. Thank you. I think ma'am is very good with C language or something. Great. एंड बेसिक ऑपरेटिंग आपके लिए बहुत बेसिक कंप्यूटर चाहिए, कुछ ज्यादा एडवांस उसकी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन की जरूरत नहीं है. और डेफिनेटली एक और है चैलेंज कि हमें एक कंप्यूटर की जरूरत होगा, हम ये प्रोग्राम फोन पे नहीं कर पाएंगे. सो लैपटॉप इज वन ऑफ द मस्ट हैव फॉर दिस प्रोग्राम. I want to learn MIT. Definitely, ma'am. Harshita, ma'am, you can learn MIT is amazing. Any particular software? आपको कोई सॉफ्टवेयर की जरूरत नहीं है इस प्रोग्राम के लिए, सारे वेब एप्लीकेशंस हैं. ओके, तो आपको सिर्फ इंटरनेट, अ स्ट्रॉन्ग इंटरनेट एंड अ गुड कंप्यूटर. ओके, गुड इंटरनेट कनेक्शन और बेसिक कंप्यूटर. आपको कोई हाई एंड की जरूरत नहीं है, मतलब नॉट अ वेरी हाई कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. But a medium, decent one is good enough. Do we have to buy any software? There is no need to buy any software. So that's, be relaxed. आपको कोई सॉफ्टवेयर बाय करने की जरूरत नहीं है. हमारी जो भी एप्लीकेशंस हम करने वाले सारे ऑनलाइन ही होने वाले, तो कोई यू डोंट हैव टू वरी. फीस, ट्रेनिंग टाइम, मैम आई थिंक लॉन्च बैच का लॉन्चिंग डेट है 21 March. टाइमिंग इज 8:30 to 10. It's thrice a week. And I think the rest of the details will be provided by Miss Manjari. Regional languages, ma'am, in Scratch में क्या क्या उन्होंने थोड़ी foreign languages डाली हुई है. Like when we are using the Scratch application, you can do in French, Spanish. But अभी तक हिंदी और हमारी Indian in regional languages have not been added, so we cannot do that. But हम कुछ हद तक we can add Hindi. And I'll show you how we can do that. But yes, we can just add little bit of Hindi thing. We can add. हमें उसको curate कर सकते हैं. But otherwise, yeah. So that is one thing. Scratch is an open app. Yes, it's an open application. Scratch ये एक वेब एप्लीकेशन है, कोई भी ओपन कर सकता है. Scratch 3.0 जो लेटेस्ट वर्जन है, हम उस पे काम करने वाले हैं. ठीक है. So yes, that's the information. Anything else? कोई भी और डाउट है आपके पास? आपके मन, anything you have in your mind, please feel free to ask me right away. Yeah, well, class recording. I think yes, we have most of the class recordings. So yes, class recording will be available, and I will be providing all the reference materials, all the learning materials. सब कुछ आप कर सकते हो. Tabs can be used. Scratch हम tab पे कर सकते हैं, MIT भी कर सकते हैं. But again, I would prefer a computer because थोड़ी सी चीजें जो है वो टैब में restrict हो जाती है, स्पेशली जब हम MIT ऐप इन्वेंटर यूज करते हैं. तो मैं आई वुड रिकमेंड कंप्यूटर, बट स्क्रैच कुछ हद तक हम टैब पे यूज कर सकेंगे. बट हाउ लॉन्ग टू बिकम रीजनेबली प्रोफिशिएंट? वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. See, it takes time, to be very frank. मतलब it also depends on how much time you're going to dedicate. बट जैसे हम कोई भी चीज सीखते तो थोड़ा सा वक्त लगता है, राइट? अगर हम कार सीख रहे, कोई भी नई चीज, राइट? इफ यू वर लर्निंग अ कार, इनिशियली हमें शायद से थोड़ा टफ लगे, थोड़ा हैंड्स ऑन नॉलेज हो जाएगा, फिर आप खुद से थोड़ी चीजें आप एक्सप्लोर करते हो, राइट? सो हाउ एनीथिंग दैट वी लर्न इन रियल लाइफ सिमिलरली अप्लाइज ओवर हियर ऑल्सो. बट डेफिनेटली ये प्रोग्राम से आपको जो है बहुत सारा एक ओवरऑल अंडरस्टैंडिंग मिल जाएगी. डेफिनेटली एज आई एम अश्योरिंग यू कि आप बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स आप अपने क्लासेस में यूज करने लग जाओगे. एंड प्रोफिशिएंट बनने के लिए थोड़ा सा और हमें मे बी वी हैव टू डू सम एडवांस लेवल एज वेल. उसके बाद पक्का आप कर लोगे. बट इफ यू हैव द विल, then nothing is impossible, right? So definitely, Prabha ma'am, you can do that. Is laptop a must for learning? Yes. Learning के लिए नहीं, मतलब it for the class you don't need, you can do in mobile. But yes, जब आप मेरे साथ कर रहे हो क्लास में भी, I feel कि आप along with me you can do it. So at that time I would prefer a laptop because मैं चाहती हूँ कि आप मेरे साथ ही करो, while the class is on. So एक laptop अगर रहेगा तो अच्छा है. All the sessions will be recorded and sent to you after every class. Okay, so it's been clarified. You will be getting all the class recordings. How much time required to complete the course? This course is planned to be for 5-week program, that is 15 sessions, right? So there'll be 15 sessions of 1.5 hour each. Yeah. So Min sir, so that was your answer to the question. So I think anything else related to the number of sessions, fees, and all that will be provided to you on over the call. Yes, I'll be the mentor for your program. Timing and fees will be again we will be communicating it to you very soon. Can we use it in any other programming languages also? I didn't get your question, Pooja ma'am. Because we are going to use our own programming languages, right? Okay, the concepts learned will definitely help you in other programming languages, 100%. Like whatever the programming concepts we learn about a variable or a function or a loop, definitely those concepts will remain same. Okay, so जो बेसिक रूल्स होती है वो सारी हर एक प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज की सेम होती है, जस्ट दैट उनका तरीका अलग होता है, उनके सिंटैक्स अलग होते हैं, बट कॉन्सेप्ट्स हमेशा सेम होते हैं, राइट? सो जैसे हम रियल लाइफ में भी कुछ चीजें, जैसे अगर आप कुछ सीख रहे हो, लेट्स से कि अगर आप like for example if you're learning languages also, right? So if you're learning of course फ्रेंच हो या इंग्लिश हो, तो उसके थोड़े से बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट सेम होंगे, बट जस्ट दैट नाउन्स इंग्लिश में कुछ और तरीके से होंगे, फ्रेंच में कुछ और तरीके से होंगे, बट बेसिक फंडामेंटल थिंग्स विल बी सेम, राइट? सो सेम अप्लाइज ओवर हियर ऑल्सो. सो दिस Pooja ma'am, all these concepts will be helpful in other languages also. Yeah. Anything else? No more questions? Okay. So I'm glad you all love the session, and I'm really looking forward to see all of you in my upcoming batch. And definitely, as promised, we will be having great sessions, and you all will be. I promise that whatever the concept we will be learning, it will be thorough, right? It will be a complete understanding, and it will be very much more interactive. Today I couldn't have much interaction, but yes, the other sessions will be more interactive. Thank you so much. I think I can take a leave right now. Have a great day. Good night.